I'm here today to talk about a little bit about the inflation report this morning. Not a lot to say there. It was higher than expected. And how is that affecting commercial real estate debt rates? Um, anyway, I thought I'd have some fun today, and I try to give you a grid on where commercial real estate debt rates are today for various asset classes. And I brought a special guest to help me. We're going to do it like a Wheel of Fortune type thing. I brought our retail superstar here, Gracie Bryant, and she'll be helping me later. But right now, I want the world to know all about Gracie. Gracie, why don't you go tell people what you're all about?
Sure, Brian. So I work in investment sales and leasing for shopping centers here in Tampa, Florida. So primarily we focus on leasing, but we also sprinkle in some investment sales in there. We focus on mainly open air shopping centers and also regional malls. We've got a couple that we're going to bring out to market over the next couple of weeks. So we're extremely excited about that. That's across the U.S. That's not just here in Florida. We're seeing some pretty interesting shifts in the market with these retail assets here. So yeah, very excited to be here today.
Can you talk about that new listing? Is that out yet?
It's going live, I believe, by the end of the day today. So,
oh boy.
Yeah, so very big day. It is a super regional mall in Independence, Missouri. It's going to be a very big redevelopment project and opportunity for any investor looking to
Let's
come
hold
in.
off on that because it's not fully out yet.
Yeah.
But that's what's coming. That's a very exciting listing that Gracie and her team have. But let's play Wheel of Rates. Let's see what the rates are today. All right, let's stop the sharing and go back here, and then we're going to come down. So let's come back here, Gracie, and we'll get the board in play and see if this can give folks an idea. Let's pull this forward. Oh, that's a little bit too much. Would you lower just a little bit more? Okay, that's good. A little lower. All right. Dun, 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 dun. All right, Gracie, what's behind door number 5?
I don't know, Brian. What is it?
So door number 5 are rates in the 5s with a 5 in front of them. They're basically 5 7/8 or 5.8 or 5.9. These are going to be premium properties. They're going to have debt coverage ratios of 150 plus, and the LTV is going to be under 60. Most of these are funded by life cos, but these have to be super premium properties. They have to have high debt coverage ratio, and they have to have low LTVs. They're out there. Some of the quotes have 5s in front of them for anywhere from $1 million on up to like 30 or 40 million. So that's what's behind door number 5. Door number 6, this is some of your world.
It is, yes, that's correct. More the strip center, STNL, that's more my thing. But
so on retail properties, we'll go from highest to lowest. We're seeing shopping centers, small strip centers, small shopping centers, 6 3/4 for is typically the rates we're seeing. Medical office building and single tenant net lease that are not credit tenants, we're seeing at 6 3/4. Credit tenant, single tenant net lease, we're seeing with LTVs under 65, we're seeing rates around 6.5 or maybe even a tad lower. Multifamily, we're seeing quoted as low as 6.2. And small multifamily, that's going to be 1 million to 8 million. We're seeing the rates here in the Southeast around 6.5. What do we see behind door number 7, Gracie?
It's looking like some office information. What
yeah, so offices are not really in vogue right now. Lenders are running away from these offices, but we are getting some financed, but they're going to be at a higher rate. So in the office sector, if you have an office that's occupied where there's a low vacancy rate in a good location, now I'm not talking about downtown Tampa. I'm talking about a good location like Clearwater or suburban Tampa, and the office is leased up. We're able to get it if it's over $2 million. We're able to see quotes somewhere in the low 7s. Now, if it's under $2 million, you're going to see quotes in the high 7s or the low eights, and I just went behind
Door number eight a little
door
bit.
number 8, yeah. So also in door number 8, you've got short-term rentals as well. Let me explain what that means. Some multifamily property owners have opted to cash in on the short-term rental gain. Here's the problem. It's not a short-term, it's no longer a multifamily property in lenders' eyes. Now it's a quasi-hotel. But I found lenders in the last month who are willing to make these loans in the low 8s if they underwrite it based on what the long-term rents would be. In other words, they're looking at a 10-unit property and the thing's churning out a bunch of money with the short-term rentals. Unless it's got a 2-year history, they're going to look at that and say, what would the long-term rents be? And then they're going to underwrite off that. So they're going to be lower LTVs, but they can get financed. And finally, door number 9. What can you see there?
Is that some bridge information?
Yeah, that's all bridge loans, right? This is when you've got a property that isn't leased up. It's going to be a short-term loan. It's going to be 9% plus, and you're going off pro forma. For example, sometimes you might be looking at a mall or a small shopping center or a power center that isn't leased up. It's 30% vacant. This is where you're going to do a 9% loan. Why would you do a 9% loan, Gracie? Why would anybody do that?
God, I don't know.
There's one reason, right? What's the one thing that remediates rate? It's when you can buy a $20 million asset for $12 million.
Okay.
And we've got the money for you on that.
Okay.
So anyway, let's put this back. Gracie, I'm going to let you take us out. Tell them once more what you do.
Leasing and investment sales on retail assets here in Florida, here in Tampa. So trying to kind of branch out into other markets. But yeah, for now, we're looking at some shopping centers and regional malls here in Tampa area. So.
And we're going to put your information on the screen and we're going to leave it there for about 30 seconds.
Awesome. I appreciate
Let's
you
say
having me
goodbye.
on. Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. And we shut it down now. I don't know how to do that. Okay. I guess I do this.